I think our Prime Minister has a little bit been lost in the clouds into the dreams of multiculturalism. And I admit, those are wonderful dreams. They sound very good. But unfortunately, the situation on the ground is not like that. What we've been promised is love and understanding. What we've gotten is the value system of an Islamic State.
It's not just black people. The slave is slave. There's no color. They're slave everyone.
Yes.
If you want to be a slave of Allah, you can be. If not, walk away.
Wow, I'm so happy this is on camera.
Yeah, you can choose.
This is why we don't know what Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we don't know what Islam.
But in fact, even believing in Islam means that you must restrict free speech. In the UN Charter of Human Rights, which was acclaimed legal status in 1948 in the UN headquarters of New York, everyone was granted free speech all over the world, and that's been signed by over 190 nations. But the Muslim nations were not satisfied with that liberal view of free speech, so they signed a Cairo Declaration in 1990, which says that everyone shall have the right to express his opinion freely in such manner as would not be contrary to the principles of the Sharia. And the Sharia is the Islamic law, of course.
As written in the Quran, Sharia is the law of Allah. Any other form of government is a sin. It is the duty of every Muslim to keep striving until all governments have been converted to Sharia law.
Do you believe that the Sharia will dominate? Do you believe that democracy will come under our feet? That we will destroy America? We will destroy Britain? That all of these leaders, they'll be under our feet?
Muslims are allowed to deceive non-Muslims if it helps Islam. For non-Muslims, this principle, called taqiyya, is another surprising concept of Islam. While most other religions speak highly of truthfulness, the Quran instructs Muslims to lie to non-Muslims about their beliefs and their political ambitions to protect and spread Islam. There are many examples of today's Islamic leaders saying one thing in English for the Western press and then saying something entirely different to their own followers in Arabic a few days later.
Bakın İslamist terör ifadesi.
Look, the term Islamist terror seriously upsets us Muslims. That term should not be used. It's not right. Because Islam and terror cannot come together. As a Muslim president, I can never accept such terminology.
Deceiving the enemy is always useful in war. And Islam is at war with a non-Islamic world until the whole world follows Sharia law.
Do you feel more comfortable living under American law, or do you feel more comfortable living under Sharia law?
Sharia law. I'm a Muslim, I prefer Sharia law. Sharia law, yes.
You prefer Sharia law over American law?
Of course, yeah. Of course, yeah.
And do you find most of your friends feel the same way?
Yeah, of course, if you're Muslim, yeah.
Sharia is something every Muslim has to believe in.
So does that include the stonings for adultery, the lashings for consumption of alcohol?
The complete Sharia.
The death of homosexuals?
Yes, the complete Sharia.
It's Sharia, but look at those countries where Sharia is the law.
By March 2022, the Taliban banned girls from attending school beyond 6th grade, making Afghanistan the only country in the world to deny education to girls. In December 2022, they went further, banning women from universities and even stopping them from working for NGOs, crippling humanitarian efforts. Freedom of speech disappeared as well. The Taliban shut down independent news stations and arrested journalists. Many who spoke against the regime were beaten, imprisoned, or killed.
Masyarakat yang menonton agar mundur berlangkah ke belakang. Telah melakukan jarima.
Under Aceh's strict Islamic Sharia law, homosexuality, adultery, and theft are among several crimes punishable by caning. The FPI says Aceh, where Sharia-inspired laws have formed the basis of the criminal code since 2014, should be a model for the rest of Indonesia. More than 400 such rules have been passed so far. Some penalize adultery, force women to wear headscarves, and restrict them from appearing in public at night.
Muslim scholars are also trying to introduce a new Sharia law that officially bans the street punk lifestyle.
Transgender women are also stripped of their clothes and have their heads shaved in front of a laughing mob. While churches deemed illegal are constantly under threat of either being attacked or demolished. And now, the local government is mooting the idea of beheading as a method of execution for murder.
How far can you go to repress your own? The Nazis put Jews in concentration camps. Myanmar's military gang-raped and killed the Rohingyas. In Iran, women are being shot in their faces, breasts, and genitals. What's their fault? In one word, dissent. These women dared to question the clerical regime, and now the regime is going to extreme lengths to repress them, to deter others from walking down the same road in protest. Troops are targeting women's faces, their genitals, and this is happening in broad daylight in front of mobile cameras.
Cameras are being installed in public places in Iran to identify women who are not wearing the hijab. According to Iranian officials, women who are caught on camera will be sent a warning by text message. The increase in surveillance is part of the ruling regime's crackdown on women who are challenging the country's compulsory dress code. It's a movement that's grown since the death of Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old died while she was in custody of Iran's infamous Islamic morality police after being detained for improperly wearing her hijab.
Tell me my religion was wrong. They tried to tell me to follow Islam. They said their prophet was a righteous dude, but I found out none of their words were true. I read the Quran and I read the Hadith, and the sickness of Muhammad was apparent to me. He justified perversion in the name of Allah when he married a girl too young for a boy. She was playing with dolls when the prophet came. Her childhood was stolen in Allah's name. Aisha was 9 when he took her to bed. Don't tell me that fool's not sick in the head. Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me. Islam's not for me.
The sickness of the Islamic mind
has caused some mullahs to be blind.
To justify the prophet, they will justify sin, so the sins of the prophet are repeated again.
All over the world in Islamic states, 9-year-old girls suffer cruel fate.
Sold into marriage to twisted men, and Aisha's sad story is repeated again. Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me. Islam's not for me. Do you care about women all over the world?
Do you care about those little girls?
Then stand up and fight for human rights. Speak out against the laws of Islam.
Follow no child molester, sex offender, prophet pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me. Islam's not for me.
Islam's not
for me.
Helst 4, 25 øre eller 50 øre hver.